Take this opportunity to welcome all Kenyans and our international visitors to the third edition of the Ma Cultural Week celebration that happens annually. This year's motto is promoting Ma cultural expressions for socio-economic development, and the venue is slated for Amboseli National Park in Kajiado County. And it is an all-system go. All the preparations are on course. This is supported by our county governments and the national government as well. And we'll be hosting, the president will be attending the occasion. So we welcome you, Kenyans and our international visitors to Amboseli to celebrate with us the iconic Ma culture.
This year, we're going to celebrate our Ma culture in Kajiado at Amboseli National Reserve, promoting Ma cultural expression for socio-economic development.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Kijo Ma Sintai Orkeretilang. Karibuni pote.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
The Far East, the Middle East, the West, and even the African continent, all are welcome. Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
Ma Sintai Orkeretilang.
President William Ruto is currently in Murang'a, Samburu County, joining faithfuls there at the SCK All Saints Cathedral Church in that particular area. We're keeping tabs on that particular story. As and when we get more details, we'll be sharing them with you. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Baron Bully. Let's start in northeastern, where residents of Garissa town are counting losses after a heavy morning downpour submerged homes, roads and businesses, bringing activities to a standstill. Traders are worried because they have no assurance of going back to work anytime soon, while the residents are figuring out other places to stay after the floods destroyed their homes. The residents are pleading with the county government of Garissa to fix the drainage system to alleviate the destruction.
Vitu zetu zimeharibiwa na maji. Mimi nimeachwa hivi, vitu zangu zimeenda. Ile pesa yangu kidogo yenye nimesanya kwa biashara yote imepelekwa na maji. simu yangu, nguo yote ya watoto. Haki nimebaki bila kitu. Serikali jameni, tusaidieni.
Mvua ilinyesha mingi na ikapeleka vitu zetu zote. Hatuna hata kitu ya kuvaa peke yake. Imekuwa ngumu, matresi yote imeingiliwa na maji, hata kulala. Saa hii hata tuko na wasiwasi, hatujui tutaenda kulala wapi. Chakula hatuna. Tumeshindwa vile tunaweza fanya.
Because of lack of drainage, now the water went back into the road, and then my house was filled. My family was rescued last night.
The Ministry of Health has instructed all health facilities to record all infant and maternal deaths in a bid to review the mortality rates countrywide. Duale, who spoke during the 4th graduation for specialized nurses at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral and Research Hospital, said at this day and age, not even one maternal mortality should be tolerated. Duale announced that the ministry will introduce under the country's digital health highway a rule making it mandatory for medics to outline reasons for all maternal and newborn mortalities every morning.
Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital will remain committed to excellency in health delivery, education.
KTRH continues to stand as a beacon of excellence in healthcare, research and innovation and education, guided by our mission to deliver patient-centered, evidence-based care.
Very soon we are going to commence a nationwide reproductive age maternal age mortality survey to make sure that we can determine the true number and causes of death among women of reproductive age, including maternal deaths. This is a clearer picture that will help us align resources, skills, and corrective actions to what is actually happening on the ground.
On the political front, the Orange Democratic Movement ODM candidate for Kasipul constituency, Boyd Were, has condemned the killing of 2 people following violent clashes between rival supporters during campaign activities. Speaking to the press, Were alleged that the violence that left 2 dead and several others injured was orchestrated by hired goons from Nairobi County, whose aim was to terrorize the residents ahead of the mini poll. Area leaders have called for an end to politically instigated violence. The Kasipul parliamentary seat fell vacant after the brutal killing of a former MP Ogondo Were, who was attacked by unknown assailants while on his way to home. The tragic incident has set the stage for a hotly contested by-election scheduled for November 27th this month, attracting 10 candidates.
The incident resulted in the loss of 2 lives and several injuries. At this juncture, we condole with the bereaved families. Nothing is worth anyone's life. We hope police will investigate the matter. We also urge them to come out and stamp authority of a mafia-like kind of mentality that might end up into uncontrollable anarchy. We believe that in the work of the police.
Take into account that we are in a period where all schools are closed. And all these rallies are not only attended by mature people, but also by young school-going students who are actually attracted by either the noise or by the activities that are going on around where they are.
And I want to say that let us have peace such that we can have, at the end of everything, we shall have a candidate. And I want to say that we have a prominent candidate as a candidate.
Still on the political front, Tana River Senator Danson Mungatana has faulted the leader of the Democratic Congress Party DCP, Rigathi Gachagua, accusing him of selfishness and neglecting the interest of ordinary citizens. Speaking in Milalululu, Tana River County, Mungatana claimed that even after Gachagwa's recent alliance with the Wiper Party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, he continues to prioritize his personal interests instead of strengthening political parties and working together with like-minded leaders to the good of all Kenyans. Mungatana emphasized that politicians should put public interests before their own. The senator is urging political leaders to work together to foster unity.
Mtu ambaye hajali mambo ya demokrasia, mtu ambaye anajifikiria yeye peke yake, mtu ambaye anaona kwamba sehemu yangu kupata ndiyo hivyo imetosha, Kenya imetosha. Huyu jamaa siasa yake sio progressive, sio ya Kenya ambayo tunataka tuende mbele.
Now, a section of clergy in Migori County have renewed calls for the church to play its rightful role in keeping the government in check. The leaders commended President William Ruto for extending development to region that had long been marginalized and appealed for greater focus on education sector. Speaking during a consultative meeting with Finance Cabinet Secretary John Buddy, the religious leaders emphasized that the church plays a crucial role in ensuring government projects are implemented effectively and public funds are used prudently. The clergy urged the government to ensure that all the gazetted projects commence promptly to restore public confidence.
Tunataka kuona kama yale ambaye yote ambaye serikali umetuahidi afanye ikamilike. Kwa sababu sisi kama watumishi wa Mungu tunaombea amani na pia tunataka kuona kama wananchi wenzetu wamepata haki yao.
President Ruto talk about transforming our country into a first world nation. We as the clergy, we believe it is possible. And we believe that all the projects that is doing is moving us towards that direction.
That CS Mbadi has assured us that today, as we were meeting here, the Ministry of Roads is meeting the previous contractor doing the wrong road, the road which is Ngege Mapera Road, in order to cancel the contract and to give it to the serious contractor who can build that road.
Elsewhere, the government has announced a major partnership with partner countries to eliminate fraudulent recruitment agencies that exploit Kenyan job seekers. The move aims to bolster oversight mechanism and mitigate the risk associated with exploitative recruitment that has been experienced in the past. The Principal Secretary for Labour, Shadrach Modime, announced this during a state visit to Oman. The PS revealed that a new framework includes stringent regulation for all private recruitment agencies and a planned memorandum of understanding with Oman.
One of the key areas that we've agreed upon is the need for Oman to establish a visa processing center in Nairobi. They are already having discussions with the Philippines. They would wish to have discussions with us also concerning the same, so as to ensure we do away with rogue recruitment agencies that bring Kenyans here on tourist visas that do not guarantee employment. And we're not making reference to unskilled labor alone, but also for skilled labor, for professionals in Kenya who wish to come and work in Oman.
Now, a quick look at what is happening in the devolved units. Public servant workers unions in Kakamega County have issued a 7-day ultimatum to county government to address their grievances, warning they will take action if their demands are not met. Speaking during a press briefing, the unions, led by their chairperson, Bernard Otieno, accused the county administration of neglecting the workers' welfare. Details of this and other stories making headlines is in our county's news roundup.
Public servants workers unions in Kakamega County have cited delayed remittance of health insurance contributions, non-remittance of welfare deductions, and failure to pay loans on time. Otieno said the unions will not hesitate to mobilize for an industrial action if the county fails to act within the given period.
This has affected our members. They are psychologically tortured. We have various issues like SHA, MTIBA. Members cannot get loans from the banks because their deductions are withheld. Members who have retired from the service cannot get their pensions because the remittance has not been done by the county government.
Elsewhere, opposition figures joined former Attorney General Justin Muturi during the launch of his memoir, The Fight for Order. Led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, the united opposition luminaries hailed the book as a bold and detailed account of the exploration of leadership and governance in Kenya and Africa.
I'm happy I've told my story as candidly as I could. I hope you will enjoy reading it and that it will inspire you to help me in my mission of building honest institutions in Kenya.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask us to grasp, to take hold of this moment and change our country for good forever.
In northern Kenya, the construction of the Isiolo-Modogashe Road, a crucial segment of the Horn of Africa Gateway Development Project, has reached 45% completion, marking a significant step towards transforming the economic and social landscape of the region.
The project started in September 2022 and is scheduled for completion by 2nd of May 2027. Since we commenced the works, we have had a few challenges, one of them being insecurity.
In Nyeri, the county government has confirmed 377 persons formerly employed on contract basis to permanent and pensionable contract. The employees who have been serving in various county government departments will receive enhanced salaries in line with 2024 salaries remuneration, commission, remuneration and benefits circular for county government employees.
We started this program. We have about 4,200 employees. We have continued gradually. After you serve your first term, incident-free, without disciplinary cases, we always convert you before you get a second contract, we convert you to become permanent and pensionable.
In Kericho County, the end of political tensions is in the offing after leaders in the county pledged to work together for posterity. The commitment followed a 6-hour mediation and reconciliation meeting between the county executive and the assembly. The meeting followed protracted wars between the two arms that resulted to 2 botched impeachment attempts.
Maamuzi ambayo imeafikiwa siku ya leo, tuna matarajio ya kwamba sasa mipango ya maendeleo itaendelea na uongozi itaendelea kwa imara.
We had the report of the fictitious payment and there are specific officers that were mentioned in the report of the assembly. The matter has been taken over by EACC. We have promised as the governor of this county that I will fully cooperate with EACC myself.
Finally, Murang'a County is taking a fresh approach to tackling lifestyle disease through food. The county government has launched an ambitious project to establish food pharmacy centers in all 35 wards aimed at promoting healthy eating and organic farming.
Communities are now focusing on healthy feeding, particularly using herbs, and we want to promote that dimension in our county. It is for that reason that we are establishing food pharmacies as initiative that pull the light nutrition after advice at the household level by community health promoters.
In other news, the Principal Secretary for Economic Planning, Boniface Makoha, has defended the Constituency Development Fund CDF, insisting it has played a key role in driving development across the country and should not be scrapped. CDF Board Chair John Oluoch revealed that the board has appealed a case seeking to abolish the fund, claiming the push is backed by the Council of Governors. Meanwhile, in Baringo County, during the groundbreaking groundbreaking of a new classroom at Bosin Primary School in Baringo Central. Member of Parliament Joshua Kandie called for part of the county budget to be redirected to the NGCDF, arguing that constituency projects are more visible on the ground.
Ukiangalia tuko na mijengo karibu 21 story buildings. Ukiangalia kwa miaka kidogo kabisa tunapata ya kwamba CDF imepata karibu 900 million shillings hapa kuanzia 2020-2021. Na kati ya hizo pesa utapata ya kwamba pesa mingi zimeenda katika masomo.
Hiyo kesi ambayo iliamua ya kwamba tufunge CDF mwezi wa 6 mwaka ujao, hiyo uamuzi tulifanya appeal. Nina hakika CDF itaendelea kufanya ujenzi na development Kenya yetu mzima.
They can increase our CDF, because if CDF is seen everywhere, sini afadhali hata tukate kidogo hii ya county government ikuje kwa CDF.
As long as we are members of parliament in this country and we are lawmakers, we shall ensure CDF is there to stay for generations.
The government has been urged to take a leading role in educating companies on risk management, a teething challenge that continues to hinder the growth and stability of many organizations. According to Erod Organization's Managing Director Stephen Gathai, many individuals at the management level lack adequate knowledge and skills in risk management, a gap that has led to the closure of companies. He says enhanced awareness and training will not only help firms mitigate potential risk but also contribute to addressing the country's rising unemployment crisis.
Government need to do sensitization to the business owners so that they are able to understand, because you find some of people that are not paying taxes or either paying penalties or fines for taxes reasons. It's not that they were doing that by intentional or it was intentional. It's because they didn't even know that they were expected to do this. Educate them from the grassroots level, at the county level, constituency level, not only in towns. I think that could be a very critical thing.
People who have not been able to manage risk always tend to die, and that is why sometimes we realize we have what is called lack of jobs in Kenya, because many companies have not been trained on how they can be able to overcome risk at the beginning.
It doesn't take a lot of time for you. It's just a few hours and you get to learn all this information. If it can be made normal for people to learn this, and then after I've learned, then there should be a next step from there. How do I secure myself and my business?
You're better off taking an instrument that is.
The Institution of Engineers is challenging proposed clauses in the Energy Amendment Bill, warning that changes allowing counties to impose new levies on way-live infrastructure could lead to increased cost of living. Appearing before the Senate Energy Committee, IEK President Engineer Shama Kiteme said the amendment will lead to double charging between counties and utility companies, and that will be a burden ultimately be passed over to the consumers through high electricity tariffs. Kiteme told senators the solution lies in establishing a single national regulatory framework, not fragmented charges by the 47 county governments.
The cables you are laying on the poles, you know, that was the main issue, not other way lifts, because the other way lifts, basically I think they've been doing it. It's only that, you know, some of the people that they engage in those digging on the roads, they don't restore to the original place. You know, that's where the problem is.
We believe that if this is allowed, then we will have people being subjected to double levies. And our proposal is that you work around regulatory framework before the amendment is done. So we are also opposed to this amendment on that basis. We do strongly believe that electricity is a basic necessity for a growing economy. And as we speak today, we are strong advocates for manufacturing in this country. Chair, if you increase the cost of production, you are going to get cost of living going high, because this is going to be passed to consumers. Any increase in levies on electricity levies by counties, we strongly believe is going to lead to higher cost of access to electricity, and this is going to affect production in manufacturing, and as we drive towards industrialization. So basically we are saying, Chair, we are opposed to these amendments.
We have the two reports tabled before the committee, and they come up with a resolution.
Elsewhere, appeals for collaboration underscored the inauguration of the Eli Dowalo Foundation, with speakers highlighting the importance of a synergy among government, private sector and individual citizens to uplift communities and drive a socio-economic advancement nationwide. Dignitaries in attendance affirmed that strategic alliances will be pivotal in equipping communities, particularly the youth, with the competencies and tools essential for sustainable progress.
With over 70% of Kenya's population consisting of young people, and in light with the limited job opportunities, youth unemployment has been likened to a ticking time bomb. Speakers at the launch of the Eli Dowalo Foundation emphasized that empowering the younger generation through innovation, vocational training and entrepreneurship is vital in converting the demographic surge from a looming crisis into a national asset.
70% of this population will never know something called a pay slip until they die. Now, that is not sustainable, and it's going to blow up in our faces sooner rather than later. And if we look at what is happening in some of the most peaceful neighboring countries, that youth population bulge has to be addressed.
They stressed that this vision can only be realized by moving beyond excessive dependence on the government and instead cultivating strategic collaborations aimed at uplifting communities and unlocking the untapped potential of Kenya's youth.
The foundation is anchored on 5 thematic areas. One is education, the other one is health, then we have got women empowerment, youth empowerment, environment and sanitation, and then ICT as a cross-cutting.
What this foundation speaks to, again, is the fact that many of us who have been pushed to the pinnacle or who have arrived at the pinnacle of society can use that pedestal to network and to help the less fortunate members of our society.
As a foundation, EU Ambassador to Kenya, Henriette Giga, reaffirmed the European Union's dedication to accelerating Kenya's social-economic evolution by championing human-centered digital transformation, mitigating the impacts of climate change, and advancing gender equity initiatives.
We are also working on removing the obstacles to it, like girl education, fighting FGM, fighting gender-based violence. So I will be going up country to see our FGM project that we do with community activists.
The foundation's mission includes supporting underprivileged yet gifted students, empowering women through cooperative societies, nurturing youth talent, and fostering resilient and sustainable livelihoods.
Basically targeting those youth who may not have gone the full hog up to university level, those who have finished Form 4. We organize them through sports activities. We also organize them by way of digital skilling.
The President's advisor on women's rights, Harriet Chigai, is calling on women to join self-help groups to boost their financial muscle. Speaking at a widows event in Trans Nzoia County, Chigai emphasized that table banking and other collaborative financial initiatives can empower women to grow their families' financial stability as well. She said the government is committed to linking widows with financial institutions to access funding for development.
The women of this region, mambo ya drugs and alcohol abuse lazima tuachane nayo, si ndio? tuangalie mambo ya economic empowerment ili tupeleke jamii mbele. I think kuna vikundi ambayo mumejipanga katika kila ward. I think kuna ships ambazo zinapatiwa katika the 6 wards. Na nyinyi kama kina mama najua hesabu yenu iko sawa. Mkiungana na tufanye hivyo na tutaongeza, tunaweza kupeleka kina mama mbali.
Now, Kabete National Polytechnic Chief Principal Dr. Patrick Mushemi says the introduction of the competency-based education was aimed at increasing the practical aspect of training. Speaking at the launch of the National Dual Technical and Vocational Education and Training Policy at Kiambu Polytechnic, Mushemi noted that dual training increases the chances of employment among the youth after training. The Chief Principal, who was among the participants at the launch, said Kabete Polytechnic has embraced dual training, with the institution strengthening industrial linkages for students pursuing health sciences in community health, hospitality, building and civil engineering, among other courses.
For us to actualize the training of skills very well, we make sure that the trainee to some part is in the institution doing some learning, and another time is in the industry practicing the skill that he has learned in the institution. And in Kabete National Polytechnic, we have done a pilot of 3 programs in dual training. One of them is in building construction, that is architecture level 3, where we have 16 students who are doing 3 months in the institutions and 3 months in the industry.
Real estate players have expressed optimism about the continued growth of Kenya's property sector, attributing the positive performance to supportive government policies that have boosted investor confidence and housing development. Speaking during the handover of Phase 1 of the Keza Riruta housing project, Mividam Homes Chief Executive Officer Samuel Kericho commended the government for creating an enabling environment that has allowed developers to thrive. Industry analysts noted that the sector's growth has been buoyed by initiatives such as government's focus on mortgage reforms, digitization of land records, and enhanced collaboration with private developers.
Many people will say the economy is challenging. I think if you look at the macro data from the government, they speak otherwise. If I look at this particular year, key macroeconomic development has been the reduction of interest rates. They are now single digit. The forex has been very stable. It has been a very positive effect on in our industry. This has been because a lot of money now is moving from money market funds towards real estate.
Proud of this moment to change a community that previously thought that we would densify. We have kept the spirit of Riruta. We have kept the spirit of the Mugumo tree.
Someone who's paying rent at 70,000, for example, would move to a 50,000 unit during economic downturns. So for a house within our affordable housing product, rather range, they get a lot of demand even during economic downturns.
And now here's the latest in the world of sport. AC Milan missed the chance to go 2 points clear at the top of Serie A after throwing away a 2-goal lead against strugglers Parma, while Juventus were frustrated in a goalless draw with Torino. A 2-2 draw with Parma leaves Milan level with Napoli, 22 points, having played 1 game more.
Salamakers still going, goes down. And the referee thought about it, but he points to the spot. It's Leao, and it's powered past Suzuki. Second penalty he scored so far this season, Rafael Leao. Brichki has kept it in. Now Bernabé can curl one, and does curl one. He's got a magical left foot, Adrien Bernabé. Just as we were saying, Parma had barely threatened in this first half. Brichki away from Estupinian. Del Prato! The captain roars Parma level. Parma have deserved this. It's been one-way traffic in the second half.
Well, City and Liverpool will clash this evening to catch up with Arsenal, who are the league leaders. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the end of the screen is Baron Abuli. Good afternoon for now.
Ningabatwa na marasmus.
Aje buda, what's marada?
Marata iko huko Kisumu ni sule.
Sijuanga watu type hii zenu pia usikianja.
Nina stuka wewe.
Aya. Ojo, for real, I'm shocked.
Inama. Kucha, enda vizuri.
Unabai, unapika, unashiba. Lea Premium.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Take this opportunity to welcome all Kenyans and our international visitors to the third edition of the Ma Cultural Week celebration that happens annually. This year's motto is promoting Ma cultural